Welcome back everybody, my name is Philip and recently I've spent some hours in front of my computer just scavenging through old images from Venice. So I was on a weekend in Venice, just a quick weekend trip, but I just didn't have the time to look at my images, which drives me crazy. I have so much old stuff. Anyway, so I went to this very well photographed spot near San Marco, which is one of the most touristic areas you can probably go to. And there's just one spot where you can take a picture of these 4 gondolas, and I'm talking about this image. See, I understand why it's amazing. Like, it's these 4 gondolas, they are just peacefully in the water with a really nice background right there, beautiful sky, but it's just so... And every picture you find from San Marco, especially from that place, looks mostly the same. It's these 4 gondolas with water, with a nice blue sky. It's beautiful, but it's just so... So I thought, why don't we get a little bit more creative? Why don't we put a really fat, massive light source on the image, which puts the whole thing into an orange glow, and then just add a nice texture on top to make it look really crunchy. And it sounds difficult, but it's super easy. It's done in about 3 minutes, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it in Photoshop itself using the Nik Collection presets, essentially, and then how you can do the same thing, just downloading a texture from the internet, which gives you the freedom of picking any image you like, and then popping that onto your image and adjust it the way you want it. It's quick, it's dirty, it's easy, and in Photoshop, that's where we shall head next. Let me show you guys.
First thing, let's duplicate the background layer by hitting Command and J on the keyboard, and with that selected I'm going to go top to Filter and then down to Render and Lighting Effects. Now here's the cool thing, I want to add color and I want to add light, and both of these two things you can add at once by just using the lighting effects in Photoshop. So you select your light source, you give it an awesome color by just clicking on the little color thingy here, select the intensity you want, and once you're happy, you can also place your light source, you can just move that thing around here. Once you're kind of happy with it, you just hit the OK button and it's going to place the color and the light for you on your layer. And that just makes a massive difference because it sort of brings the picture to life a bit more. It's not boring anymore suddenly. I mean, you can see before and after, it's like really dull. Now, of course, it's a bit too intense, so let's just hit a layer mask on that. Hit G on the keyboard to get my gradient tool, and with an opacity of 40%, I'm just going to remove some of the effect from the foreground here. Just a little bit, not too much, maybe something like that. So that the color is really nice and centered at the back there and just at the water, including the boats. Now that's the first step. It just really brings the whole thing to life a little bit more. And the last thing I want to do already is just to put that texture on top to give it this old crunchy feeling. And there are many ways to do skin a cat, I suppose. In my case, I'm going to hit Command, Alt, Shift and E on my keyboard, therefore create a stamp visible and copy everything that is visible onto a new layer. With that, I'm going to go to Filter, Nik Collection, and then the Analog Effects Pro 2. Now in a second I'm going to show you how to do it without a filter if you're one of these guys who prefer to do stuff on your own, manual labor, which I totally understand. Sometimes you just want to be your own boss. But for now, have a look at this stuff. So the Analog Effects is awesome because it has some really cool presets, which I don't want to use at all. So I'm just going to switch off all that stuff. The only thing I want to keep is the dirt and scratches on the right hand side right here. Now I'm going to switch over from dust and lint to organic. I'm going to pick myself a nice organic texture like this one, for instance. And now I have the slider on top here where I can determine the strength of what I want to do. I think I'm going to go with something like, why not something like this? Let's hit OK, let the magic work, and it's going to take that texture and place it on your image for you. You don't have to do anything, don't change blend modes, I'll show you in a moment. And just like that, you have a really cool image, which is just so different from most of it, what's going to be uploaded into the internet. And here we go, after a couple of seconds work, now we have this really cool old texture on our image and just gives it a really nice feeling. Now, that's how you can do it with the Nik Collection, but some people don't like the Nik Collection for whatever reason. I like it because I'm lazy, and laziness definitely pays off if you have the Nik Collection, because it just looks awesome. Okay, but let me show you how you can do it, how you can get that texture kind of feeling on your image without using the Nik Collection. Boom, here we go. So that's the only thing you have to do, you have to find the texture. I suggest you use a texture website which is called texturelib.com. These guys are awesome, it's totally free. You just go on there, you hit in your search term like grass, wall, rust, whatever, and it's going to bring up a really full-size image in HD, and you can just download it for free, pop it into your workflow, and just get going with it. And that's exactly what I did here. So I just grabbed one of the, the textures they have essentially, and but now of course it's covering my image, so not very well. Let's just switch the blend mode from normal down to something like multiply, which makes it half transparent, and now I can use something like a levels adjustment, hit Command or Control Alt and G to clip that onto my texture essentially, and now I can just start moving around the sliders until stuff becomes less visible. So I think somewhere here for the oh, wow, police behind me. So something like this here for the brights, and let's just take the midtones and drag them towards the left until the thing becomes invisible enough that it's not annoying, but just a little bit cool. Maybe something like that is not bad at all. Let's close that down, and now you can see if I zoom in, we also have a texture which we just found randomly on the internet, and we just can really create cool effects if you find the right texture for you. Always depends on your image, but it's definitely worth checking out these kind of sites which just offer this stuff for free. Awesome work. These guys do really well. You can see switch it on or off. And you see with just a couple of moments, maybe 3 or 4 minutes work altogether, if you would stop talking, Philip, you can see that we go from a really normal kind of image, which you have seen a lot of times on the internet because it's just the normal thing to take from there, to a rather unique, crunchy image, which we have created with a couple of handshakes in between using a filter and in between a bit of manual work by putting in a light source. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did like that video. If you did, give me some love and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and show me your support. Well, just a quick image just on the side, and next weekend we're going to be off to London, so I'm going to record another vlog of course for you guys. I hope you're going to enjoy it. I shall see you then. Until then, get out there, take some pictures and have a good one. Bye!